Hello, day 11 of 100 Grammar with Mariia. Today we keep speaking about nouns which are used only in singular. And these nouns are called uncountable. So at first we have to understand the word uncountable and the opposite of it, countable. So when we move back to nouns, you remember nouns can have different forms, and the majority of nouns have both singular and plural forms. When you see one object, and then you can see two objects, for example, you can count them, 1 and 2. In that case, you call this noun a countable noun. This is the same about people. One person, you see two people, you can count people. So these nouns are countable. You can count them one by one. When it comes to uncountable nouns, or nouns which are used only in singular, you cannot count them because the majority of them do not have any shape nor limit, and many of them are abstract nouns. I hope you remember those nouns which you understand, but you cannot touch or you cannot see. So these uncountable nouns, we're going to speak about them, but today you're going to learn how you can express yourself when you want to speak about part of this noun. So this tiny part you'll be able to count. At first, we start with a quote. True joy of nature is when every drop of water shines like a pearl. This quote has many nouns, and I'm going to mark nouns which are countable with this green color, and uncountable will be this red color. Let's start here. True joy. Joy is a noun. Joy, you feel joy, you're feeling. Is it a countable or uncountable? Something you feel. Countable or uncountable?
Uncountable.
Uncountable. You're right. So I underline with this color. Then we have nature. Think, we do not speak about a tree or a flower. We speak about nature in general. Is it a countable noun or an uncountable noun?
Countable.
Nature. Think, nature, not 1, 2. Nature in general. Everything together. All groups of these objects or things together with one word. Uncountable.
Uncountable.
So here we have nature, uncountable, is when every drop of water, drop. Can you see a drop? Can you count drops?
Yes.
Yes, you can. So this word is a countable noun. Drop, and then we have water. Water in general. Countable or uncountable? Water.
Uncountable.
Uncountable, you're right. Shines like a pearl. Can you count pearls?
No.
A pearl. You have even a, you see? This reveals a part. A, you can count pearls. So a pearl, this noun is a countable noun. So look, some of them are countable, some of them are uncountable. But this part is marked. Drop of water. So I do not speak about all water in general. I speak about one tiny bit, a drop of it. So you see, I use another word, a drop, and I show that it's part of all water, a drop of water. And I can count these drops. I can say 2 drops of water, 4 drops of water. I can make plural form of this noun when I add s. And in that case, I can count part of that water. Today, you are going to learn how to count parts of these uncountable nouns, or how you express yourself when you speak about one part of it. You maybe recognize these words from the previous lesson. Remember weather, bread, milk, hate, music, help. And here we have advice, money, and luggage. You need to remember the sentence from the previous lesson. I hope you can pause this video and try to remember this sentence and say these words again in the same order. Remember, these words are uncountable nouns. You cannot count them or speak about them in general, or they are abstract, like help or hate. So now we are going to find out how we speak about part of it. So there are words, other nouns, which help you to show only part of this uncountable noun. And we attach these words with this uncountable noun with the help of of. So you see this huge preposition of. And here you have this first word we've talked about, a drop of water. So here we have this word which we can count, and we can make plural forms of this word, and then we add this word of, and then an uncountable noun. So when you speak about the weather, you understand you can speak about lightning. In that case, you say a bolt of lightning. You can speak about sunshine. You can speak about this and that. So you can use other words which describe the weather. But when we move to bread, you can say a loaf of bread. You can count this noun, a loaf of bread. When it comes to liquids like milk, tea, coffee, you can use different words, of course. For example, a jug of water, a glass of wine, a cup of tea, a can of cola, a carton of milk, a pint of beer. So you see many different words. And then don't forget to use of, and you mention what you speak about. In this case, we have milk, so let's say a carton of milk. Then we have hate. So these feelings, you use some other words to describe this. For example, I'm full of hate. So it means like you overflow with this feeling. So you can say that. Sometimes you can say look of hate, a message of hate. So you specify what is there, where you can find this hateful message, for example. Of course, you can say hateful, make an adjective as well. So you can describe this feeling in different ways when you speak. Then we have music. This word peace, I want to mark it. We can use it very often, this word, peace. For example, of course, a piece of music. And then a piece of furniture, a piece of advice. So there are many words which you can add these uncountable nouns and say a piece, like a part, a piece of it. Then we have help. You do not often hear this hand of help, but we have another expression which is often used, a helping hand. So this help, often we use the word when we make other phrases and we describe in what way we help. A helping hand. Advice, you remember, you can say a piece of advice or a bit of advice, a word of advice, again, a bit. Sometimes you can use this word with other uncountable nouns as well. When it comes to money, in fact, when you speak about money in general, you mean coins and bills, everything together. But when you want to specify, you can speak about coins, you can speak about notes or bills. So you can speak about money in other ways. And when you use these words, you can count them. So you can say 3 coins I have in my pocket. luggage, we have this word. When you speak about luggage in general, you mean you have maybe many suitcases. So you can count another word. You can make a sentence, I lost one suitcase from my luggage. You see, I used another word, and when I speak about part of it. Here you have some other words which we can use with uncountable nouns. So I've written them here, and I'll give you examples. And don't forget, we always use of in these phrases. For example, a pinch of salt, a lump of sugar, a grain of, you can say truth, by the way, a grain of wheat, a kilogram, pound, very easy, you understand these words, a tub of butter, a bar of chocolate, I like that, a bar of chocolate, a pack of cigarettes, a bag of flour, a bowl of rice, a package of sausages, a bunch of grapes, or keys, you can say, a deal. When you speak about business, you can say a business deal, article of clothes, and round. When you remember all these words and how you use these words correctly with other uncountable nouns, at the very end, you can give yourself a round of applause. This round word we use here. Let's summarize. To speak again about nouns in singular, we call them uncountable nouns. You cannot count them. But if you want to speak about part of that uncountable noun, you have to use some other words. Practice at home. Make different phrases. Use these phrases in sentences. Ask questions. Speak about everything you see around you. Don't forget, we have uncountable nouns, but you can speak about parts of them by adding other words. Thank you for today, and thank you for being here. See you next time.